We're getting some indication that maybe as many as 1,000 American troops would be stationed in and around the U.S. Embassy even after 2016. Is that right?
The numbers are not yet set, but here's what would happen. There'd be a certain number of troops required to secure the embassy, and we're talking probably in the hundreds. You also have, in any embassy where we have a defense relationship with the host country, some troops who are working on military contracts. The country buys equipment for the United States. You have experts who help them acquire the equipment and learn how to use it. So between those two functions and also some continuing advising of the Afghans, including their ministries, the defense ministry, the other security ministries, you'll have some folks there to do that.
Tell our viewers why it's in their interest, American citizens, to spend tens of billions of dollars to stay in Afghanistan next year and the year after, especially because the Afghans themselves, they have more than 350,000 of their own domestic police and security forces.
Well, we want to complete the job that we started, and we've been on a very clear trajectory under this president to end the war responsibly. And that means as we draw down our troops, building up the Afghans to the point where they can take full responsibility for their own security, their own future. And that's exactly what we've been doing. Doing it as the president announced today. That is going from where we are now, which is about 32,000 troops, down to 10,000, and then down to about half of that, and finally down to a very small presence to secure the embassy, is a trajectory that makes sense. It will allow the Afghans to continue to assume responsibility for their future and do it in a way that, again, gets our folks out and builds them up.
I'm going to play for you two comments that the president made, one in 2012, one in 2013, about his objectives in Afghanistan. Listen to this.
We are bringing our troops home from Afghanistan, and I've set a timetable. We will have them all out of there by 2014. This drawdown will continue, and by the end of next year, our war in Afghanistan will be over.
So on the first point, in the 2012, when he said all U.S. troops will be out by the end of 2014, that's not necessarily happening. If you think 9,800 U.S. troops, they're still going to stay there.
First of all, Wolf, let's put this in perspective. When the president took office, there were about 170,000 Americans in harm's way between Afghanistan and Iraq. By the end of this year, we'll be down to 10,000 or so, the ones who remain in Afghanistan. Second, the president was very clear today, the combat mission in Afghanistan ends this year. And so the Americans who remain in Afghanistan in 2015 will not be out patrolling the streets or in the mountains or in the valleys. They will be there to support the Afghan military, to help train them and advise them, and they'll be there in small numbers to deal with the remaining terrorism threat, the remnants of al-Qaeda. That's what they'll be doing. That advances our security, and it also helps Afghanistan.
You saw the statement that John McCain, Lindsey Graham, Kelly Ayotte put out. I'll put it up on the screen. The president's decision to set an arbitrary date for the full withdrawal of U.S. troops in Afghanistan is a monumental mistake and a triumph of politics over strategy. This is a short-sighted decision that will make it harder to end the war in Afghanistan responsibly. Your reaction?
Wolf, we respectfully disagree. First, it's very important to let the Afghans know what they need to do going forward, so that they can work on their responsibilities and step up to the plate. That's worked very effectively. When we told them we'd be ending combat operations at the end of this year, they stepped up, and the Afghan security forces are more effective for that. So we needed to give them a clear trajectory, a clear understanding of what we'd be doing, when we'd be doing it. Second, since our combat mission is over at the end of this year, it makes no sense to keep 10,000 or more American troops in Afghanistan. To do what? Third, the military was fully supportive of this trajectory down. And finally, we can't be in an endless war posture. This is about ending these wars responsibly and then redirecting some of those resources to deal with some of the new threats that we face in different parts of the world in different ways.